Well, do you want you? That's the first thing I'd ask. Because if you want you, they'll be lining up. Absolutely. I believe that weed relaxes me and allows me to download from the universal wave band. If I'm tense and I'm upset or if I'm anxious, I am not learning and growing. So it allows me to relax and enjoy and then learn and grow. This is really, I want to be your grandma. I'm trying to figure out a way that we can do it. I'm thinking about adoption papers, but I'm always hung up on you don't need to perform for me to love you. So we don't need to adopt each other to love each other, but you know where my wise words are. And I will always be your grandma in spirit. How do you date yourself? And if you can get along with yourself, you can get along with somebody else. I wanted to. I was 10 years old in Woodstock. I smoked too much. Well, get up and do stuff. If you sit and smoke, you're just wasting your life. I don't smoke to waste it. I smoke to get up and do it. And if you're just sitting around, it's not helping. Aside from weed, what is my favorite herb? Tarragon. I love the flavor of tarragon. I love it on chicken. I love it in omelets. Tarragon is just amazing. No, I'm a good witch. There are millions of good witches out there. I'm just the one that you paid attention to. Witch hunts have always been a thing. And it's gone from being a witch to being a feminist. It's really just a woman who's in total control of herself. And you're a waste if you stay in the closet, honey. Enjoy your life. Be out there and be bold. Quit attracting it. Affirm that you have it. Be wealthy. If you're attracting it, you're not it. So know that you have and you are wealthy. I am wealthy because of my family. I am wealthy because of the love between my husband and myself and my children. That's my wealth. Do you have the same? Sculpture, figurative sculpture. I love being outside of my body, and I love creating shape and form. I love being able to honor and approximate my physical spaceship to larger sculptural items. You may feel it when you're in a canyon or when you're up next to a tree. I feel it when I'm in front of sculpture, and I love sculpture. At that interview where they asked me what was the one thing about my body that hurt me, and I said my white skin. It burns my soul. That's the last time I cried. I have a bazillion friends. I just don't have time for them because I am so interested in putting forth good to 1,000,004 that My personal time is with my husband, and that's private. And my friends are those that surround me during my work and exercise time. I'm surrounded by friends. No, I don't. Never heard of them. Never practiced it. Absolutely not. Oh. When is it safe? When you feel safe. And I remember when I told my husband that I loved him, I cried because I knew it was going to break us up. But I could not be with him a moment longer without telling him that I loved him. And I was willing for it to break us off because that was the truth of my being. And he cried too. And we've been married 35 years now. 70. Yes, you may. I started at 14. And I wrestled with my personal identity until I was 30. I'm grateful for starting smoking weed that early because I questioned everything. I questioned the church. I questioned my school. I questioned my parents. And I grew up in a world that's fascinating. And if I, when the church fed me their dogma, if I wasn't stoned, I would have believed it. And I am so grateful I never did. So I'm grateful that I was getting stoned at 14 and I never believed that stuff. I've always been the best that I can be. Every day I try and be better than I was yesterday. I set intellectual, physical, and emotional goals for myself. If you want to be a badass, challenge yourself and do it on a daily basis and do it without shame. Try and be the best that you can and assess yourself from that perspective instead of from a shameful perspective on my website. The link is in my bio, and only the Good Witch hats have the hat sack. I had to learn a long time ago that I cannot be entertained by food. If I allowed myself to indulge in every physical sensation, I'd have no self-esteem. So I know that munchies are something that comes with smoking, and I just identify it as such and don't respond to it. I don't do sweets. I don't do bakery goods when I'm stoned. I have more esteem for myself than to do something that wouldn't fulfill me. Walk. Get up and walk. Don't smoke pot. What's happening with that is that your body is responding in a fight or flight. You need to do something rhythmic. Something rhythmic will put you into a relaxation phase. So get up and walk 20 minutes a day whether you want to or not. That's a therapist speaking. Okay, here. This is what I try and teach the people I work with. Unconditional self-acceptance. You're anxious because you don't accept yourself. Number 2, editing that negative voice in your head. Number 3, showering yourself with loving affection. And number 4, taking responsibility for your behavior. If you don't know how to do this, become part of my group. That's what we discuss. That's what our subscription box is about. That is a way that you can go through self-assessment without shame and learn and grow. That's a way that you can enjoy yourself for who you are, learn and grow and go forward. Negative thinking, what you need to do is look at your thinking objectively without criticism or shame, and decide if it's positive or negative. And so I suggest you walk. And when you're walking, listen to those voices. Is it positive or negative? And for the first week, just like a scientist, you're going to make an assessment of how much is positive and how much it's negative. The next week, you're going to change more positive, less negative. It's our self-talk that creates our reality. So talk to ourselves with positive, loving kindness. Be objective. Look at how you talk to yourself. I personally believe that I'm a self-contained entertainment unit. I want everybody to get such joy from themselves. Sativa! Yes, I have a Zolo Escuito. That is a Mexican hairless, but she has hair. What's right or wrong? Obviously, he's self-medicating. I'd be more concerned about is he achieving his personal goals? You know, it's not the weed. It's his feelings about himself. If, you know, I was smoking weed at 20, but I was a student at USC getting my degree in service. So I'd be more concerned about the person than the habit. By learning to parent yourself, we all need to learn to be our own parents. And you have an opportunity to choose your parents now. You have an opportunity to be that loving parent to yourself that you didn't find in your family. So learn to be your parent. In the tarot, we have to learn to be both the Empress and the Emperor for us to go on our spiritual path. My intentions are always positive. My intentions in being involved with people is to be a positive influence in their life, not a negative influence. I believe in a creative spirit that's greater than me. I don't believe in a man sitting on a throne who's going to sit and judge me. But I believe in the magnificence of the human body that creates human beings. I know that there is an energy, a universal energy, that has brought this kind universe together. And I trust it. I watch it. I've been part of its energetic flow my entire existence. Oh, you want to see a naked picture? I don't have an account there, but I did do an interview for What's Underneath, and it is going to be on YouTube, and I'll let everybody know when it's published. So my background, I'm very proud of. I'm an occupational therapist, and that is evaluating a person through developmental levels, both mental, physically, and socially. And so my work with patients is some of the most valuable experiences of my life. I want to talk about the American Occupational Therapy Association, of which, as a practitioner, I was a delegate assembly, a delegate representative from California to the National Delegate Assembly. And the work of occupational therapy and the profession is profound within the medical system. I am so grateful for my occupational therapy education. It helped me easily overcome my disability and recreate myself. If you're looking for a profession, consider occupational therapy. It's the best field to go into. I've had a great time. I hope you have too. And if you have, we'd love that feedback. So subscribe and leave messages in the comments for me and my team so we can improve our presentation.